tells us that Jesus is coming soon, and when he comes back, he's coming for a bride whose hearts are fully given to him, and that bride, he's calling her to enter into his rest, even as Jesus himself entered into rest, rested the seventh day, had a Sabbath rest. You and I also are invited into a Sabbath rest, because when the Lord had kids, he didn't have you just so that you would do work. I don't know how many parents had kids so that they could get the dishes done. But the Lord has kids so that he can enjoy them, not just so that we would get the work done. And so this Sabbath rest is where he becomes our dwelling place and we become his, where there's incredible union that takes place. And his rest is a place where humanity and God are in perfect agreement in Christ Jesus. And so verse 11, again, similar to what verse 1 states, but therefore let us be diligent to enter that rest so that no one will fall through following the same example of disobedience. What does the word diligent mean? It's the Greek word spoudazo, which means to be prompt, to be earnest, use speed, speedily enter into that rest so that you don't fall. You know, I notice when I look at some of the differences between Patricia and I tend to be more of a procrastinator. You know, I set my stuff out. If I've got 5 days to get something done, then why do it on day one? Sometimes, you know, I get breakfast for our daughter Phoebe, and I've got all the stuff all laid out, you know, everything. So I'm kind of preparing the next hour of the breakfast because I'll serve her first. I'll have some God time. I'll get breakfast. So typically, if Patricia comes down during that time, you know, all the stuff I put out is in the dishwasher before I know it. I've got my cup that I've used, so I don't have to use a second one. It's in there already. Right? So what am I saying here? There's this place of diligence so that no one will fail. Nobody will fall. There's a place of diligence to enter into the rest that the Lord has for us. I want to ask you tonight, how are you exercising spoudazo, that diligence to enter into his rest? What are you doing to ensure that you fully get a hold of it? Because the Lord is exhorting us to say, be diligent to enter into rest. Don't get complacent to think that just because you prayed a prayer 20 years ago, you're automatically in. Because there's a process of sanctification. There's a place where, are you going to be like the children of Israel that died in the wilderness and didn't enter in? Or will you be like Joshua and Caleb that chose to believe God?